listeners. Welcome to another episode of Romance Unraveled. I'm one of your co hosts, Jacob Bozen. For this episode, we will not have Zachary with us again. He may or may not add something at the end. We will see. But today we have one of my good friends growing up, ever since we were little. Chandler, how old do you think we were when we first met?
Oh my
We honestly
God.
were like two or
Probably since,
three.
probably since, yeah, way longer than that. Because
Yeah,
our parents been what, friends like forever.
yeah, forever.
Probably like way since we were even born.
Yeah, yeah, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, so today we have Chandler King with us. So Chandler, let's have you introduce yourself.
So I'm Chandler King. I've been friends with Chica for God knows how long. And I'm a server at a retirement home. And I'm just living life.
Living life, aren't we all? Yeah. Yeah, so Chandler, last time I was with him in Utah over Thanksgiving, he told me a story that he had with a guy I guess he was seeing. I can't remember how long you were seeing him for, but it
Like
seemed
we
like a
were
prolonged.
probably like 2 months maybe.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So I don't really know a lot about this story other than what you told me, so I'll just hand it over to you and you can tell the story.
So my story begins about 2 years ago. So I met this guy like on Tinder, like you meet everybody nowadays. So we were talking on Snapchat, like just back and forth, just like, and trying to get this guy going out on a date. Let me just say, it was horrible because he would literally always complain like how busy he was, like, and like, I mean, I get it because he was like also he was going to school full time and he was working. He was going to nursing school, I think it was, and he lived clear out in Tooele, so that made it even harder because that's like over an hour from where I'm at.
Yeah. What's
So
his name? Like you can make up a name, but what should we call him?
I'll just give you his name. His name's Cody Koldovich.
So the actual
Real-
name. Okay, here we
yeah,
go.
I don't even care. It's out there. It's fine. So finally, like about we were talking for like it was probably about a month, I want to say, before we actually met up on a date. Like it was like forever. And so I got there. So we met up like around like in the afternoon sometime, and I got there like right on time. And I snapped and I was like, "Hey, like I'm here. Like, are you here or whatever?" He was like, "No, I'm literally still at my sister's." So it literally took. So I was sitting in my car for like about 15 minutes before he even got there.
So how long before this first initial date were you chatting back and forth?
Probably like 3 weeks, I want to say.
Oh, so it took 3 weeks for you guys to
Yeah,
actually. Okay.
it was. I don't know. It was crazy. So we got there. So we sat down like at the restaurant or whatever, and like we were just like talking, and like he was such a negative person. Like I have never met anybody like so put themselves down in their life before. Like he was like just going off about how like his dad was like going on a cruise or whatever, and like he was like pissed off because he couldn't get to go or whatever, and that he was like going to school or whatever. I'm just like, you people can go to school and have a life and work. Like
Yeah,
it's not really that hard, you know?
right. Yeah, I did it. I mean,
So
a lot of people do it.
exactly. So about when like we were getting ready after dinner or whatever, the check came and he was like really hesitant about like who was paying. And I was like, okay, well then fine. I guess I'm doing it. And like he was like trying to tell me like after like I grabbed the bill, he was like, well, I can pay you Venmo or whatever. I was like, no, it's fine. Like, don't worry about it. Like, it's fine. Like, I'll just do
So
it because
So my question is, who asked, who was the person that asked the other person to go to dinner?
I think it was him. I want to say it was mutual, but I swear from what I can remember, it was him.
Okay, and then so he asked you, and then he's the one that doesn't want to pay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, keep going.
So we we got in the car and left, about it, literally 2 days later, I hear back from him. And I thought, okay, well, I guess. that's odd, you know?
During
So
that
then he was,
2 day period, were you I guess did it create a lot of like anxiety for you? Like were
yeah,
you
it
like
was like stressing me out because I was like, you know what, like the date was fine. Like we had like a good time talking, you know, like whatever besides like his negative stuff, you know? Like it was like fine. So,
okay.
but then like all of a sudden, like he responds like, "Yeah, sorry, I was like trying to plan. I was like planning my sister's baby shower or whatever, you know." I was like, "Okay, but you know, there is plenty of time for a response."
Yeah.
Because like I don't even think I had his number. Like it was like all on Snapchat. I don't think we even exchanged phone numbers.
Which honestly on Snapchat, like you probably have experienced this and I imagine a lot of the listeners do.
Right.
A lot of us compile people on there and then
Yeah,
you have like 1,000 people that you have no idea who they even are.
exactly. Like I probably have like a total of like five people, random people on my Snapchat who I don't even know.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like nowadays, like a lot of people socialize over Snapchat. Like
Right.
a lot, like I talk to like half of my friends on Snapchat. Like it's crazy.
Interesting. So what
So
happens next?
about so like we were still talking or whatever. Like I want to say about 2 weeks later, I was getting ready to leave for Mexico. So I got to Mexico on my first day there. Like I was like sending him pictures of Mexico on Snapchat of like where the resort where I was at. And like the stuff would like not send through. And I was like, okay, maybe it's like the air, like maybe it's just because I'm out of the country or like whatever. So I finally went on there. I was like, oh, well, this bitch unfollowed me. Like it was like he unfollowed me off of my Instagram, like my Snapchat, like everything was gone. I was like, well, okay,
So
nice to be ghosted.
did he know that you were, I'm assuming he knew that you were going to Mexico for vacation,
Yeah,
right?
because like
Yeah.
we talked about it on the date.
See, that's kind of a common theme that I find in people's dating stories that I've heard when they travel or go on vacation. It's the people that they're seeing at the time. They tend to use those times as the best way to like separate themselves from
You
the
want to, I've
person.
never really noticed that until like you say that because like I get it because it makes sense.
Yeah, anytime that I'm dating someone and I go on like a vacation, it makes me really nervous because the same thing happens to me.
I just think ghosting somebody is the worst thing. Like if you don't want to talk to me anymore, then tell me. Don't go off and just unfollow me off of everything. Just tell me because I would rather
Right.
find out that way and then finding out like, oh, well, I don't want to talk to you anymore
Yeah.
when
So when you
everything's gone.
so when you initially found out that he had like removed or unfollowed or blocked you or whatever, um what did you do next?
It was literally driving me crazy like the whole night. Like I probably didn't sleep that whole first night. So finally I was like, you wanna know what? I'm gonna go on Visco. This I don't know if you even heard of Visco. It's like where people like share like just photos. Like that's all what it is. And like I don't think he realized that I followed him on there, but he didn't follow me back. So I
Of
went on
course.
there. So I went on there and there was this photo of him and this other guy. And I was like, oh,
Like a recent photo
yeah, it was like a recent photo, like probably like a week ago.
from the time that you were in Mexico.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was like, oh, really? That's interesting. Like, okay. So I didn't think anything of it. So I kind of just like, you wanna, it's fine. Like, I'm gonna move on. So about 6 months later, I was on Grinder.
Out of all places to be, of course, the best
Exactly.
app. You know, I really do like once I if this podcast really takes off and my book comes out, which will be about another episode on that, I am seriously going to look at developing an app that is like Grindr, but it's used just for dating. I'm not going to go into
I,
any details about that, but it's just an idea because, as you know, Grindr is
we all
is
know.
something else.
It's wild. It's the most wildest dating app I've ever been on.
Yeah.
So I was on Grinder and like I saw this photo and I was like, wait a second, is that who I think it was? So I clicked on it And like on my grinder account, like I did not have like any photos of me, like not showing my face at all. It was just like a blank profile.
Oh,
So I was
so
like,
you're
you
one of
wanna
those. You're one of the
Yeah, I'm one
blanks.
of
Okay.
those.
Great.
So I went
So you're
on
part of the
this.
problem.
Like, yeah. So I was like, I'm just gonna message him, see if like just like hinting around or whatever. So like I started messaging her. I was like, hey, like, do you remember like who I am or like whatever, like about like back in January? And he's like, no, not really. So
So
I ended
let's
up,
wait a second here. So you messaged him on a
uh-huh.
blank profile. When you first
Yes.
messaged him, like, did you send a picture of your face so he knew who you
No.
were, or was it
N-
just like you were trying to like fish for a
It
response?
was it was kind of like fishing for a response.
Okay, and then I'm assuming eventually you sent him a picture of like your face, so like he was like, "Oh crap."
Yeah. Yeah. So I sent him a picture of my face, and I swear he had no idea who I was. He did not remember me like at all.
He probably most certainly did, and he probably was really embarrassed,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
his default was to say, "I don't know who you are,"
Yeah, exactly.
because you caught him like, and I'm not an advocate for this at all, but using like a blank profile to go like to, I guess, fish for him, like I said.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh crap, I talked to this person and now I have to like show for it." So I think he
Yeah.
was just pretending. I think he totally knew who you were.
And then she's just like, oh, well, maybe. I was like, now I feel like an asshole for like blocking you on everything. And it's like, well, kind of was a dick move.
Yeah.
So I was like still talk like he was like he ended up adding me like I'm back on Snapchat like we had like a streak or whatever. So about this time last year I was on Tinder and I ended up matching with the guy who he dated on his Visco account.
The one that you saw the picture of.
Yeah,
Okay, of
I
course.
thought it was the most
Because why not?
funniest thing. Exactly. I was like, "Oh my God, you got to be kidding me." And he was also like Cody was like seeing this other guy too at the same time. And things didn't work out with the guy on Visca with me and him. Like it kind of just was like whatever. So I never talked with him. And then like I was still on Tinder. And then I ended up matching again with the guy who Cody was seeing and recently broke up.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, oh my God. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And
Well, the thing about it though is the gay world is small,
well, this is
but
like the other thing what's crazy is that when I was on Cody's Instagram account, I swear to God, like every guy, like when I'm on like Tinder, like when I see a photo, like I want to like I'll go look it up and see if I can find them on like on Instagram. What I'm pretty sure what a lot of people do. And I swear every guy who I looked up on Tinder, he followed Cody. Like I'm not even lying. Like every freaking photo I found and I looked at this person, he followed.
so he's like involved with everybody that you were, or I
Y-
guess potentially involved with.
Yeah. Like it was just like crazy. It's just I feel like that's how it is in Utah though in general because Utah is just a very like small, I wouldn't say well, not small, but it's just a very small community in the gay world in Utah.
See, I think that's so interesting because I feel like it's not. Like I feel like there's so many like gays there, and
Yeah.
each time I go back, it's always, oh, I've never seen this person, or who's this person? This person's new. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I don't live there anymore, but
Well, I don't know if it's because like I'm like not in like I don't live in like the Salt Lake area because I know that in the Salt Lake area there is so many gays. Like there's a lot.
right. Oh yeah, that's probably why then. Yeah,
Because
for
like up
sure.
where like I'm at, like there's gays around here, like but like you wouldn't see it like how it is in Salt Lake. Like there
Yeah,
is a huge different dynamic in that.
right. So what happened next after you were discovering all of these people were connected to him?
I just like come to find out how small the gay world community is in Utah and how everybody, I swear everybody knows everybody.
So you never heard from this guy again? Like it was,
No, I ended up stop talking to all of them because like they all like it just I feel like it was mutual. Like we just like I unadded them, like like I like nothing was ever really gonna happen. I felt like deep down,
yeah,
like he was like Cody was like going to nursing school. I was like whatever, like I don't really and I kind of didn't really want to work things out with Cody anyways because he ghosted me
right. Yeah, yeah,
because I
definitely.
feel like it's the freaking worst you could do to anybody.
No, it really is. Like I've experienced it too. I mean, like with our first episode with the Alex story. He did
Yeah.
when I came to Utah on, I guess you could say, quote unquote, vacation last
Hmm.
year for Christmas. The same thing happened to me. Like we had this whole plan. Like you probably know, he was gonna come out, fly back to DC
Hmm.
with me, and then we were gonna go to a cabin in West Virginia, and then it just never happened because he ghosted me. So
Oh
no,
my
it's real, and it
God.
happens a lot more than people think. I think at least, like
Yeah.
people, what has happened today with the dating world is people are fine with ghosting people because the apps have created the mentality that we have
They
like a
have.
shopping cart. And the shopping
Exactly.
cart allows us to look at people as like items. And if it doesn't match everything that we need, well, then we take it out of our shopping cart and add something else in the shopping cart because it's really easy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I talked to like my sister about it and she was like, I just because like I was like telling about like guys who I've seen or whatever, and she's just like, guys are just like assholes. I was like, pretty much.
Well, if
I
if
feel
if they think if they think that like guys in general are like dicks, then let's take gay men and multiply it by 10 because
exactly.
that's where the real problems are.
It's horrible. I was like, sometimes this is probably like horrible to say, but like I sometimes I wish that I was straight because I probably wouldn't be in the position where I'm in now.
I think most of us think that way. I mean, deep down, I don't think that. I think most of us, like, I guess, think about what our lives would be like if
Well,
we were.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
I think most of us actually wouldn't change it. But then you sit
I
there and wonder and you're
deep
like,
down.
oh my
Yeah.
God, like life would be so much easier. Like we would be married right now. We would
Exactly.
have kids. We would do the whole thing.
Like, so I work with this girl and she's my age and she's on her third baby. And
Wow.
her oldest is 4-year-old, is a 4-year-old, and her second is just turned one and she's pregnant again. And she's my
Wow.
age. There is no way I could be that age where I'm in now and have 3 kids.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely not.
crazy. Yeah.
Like, no, thank you.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else to the story that you would like to add or any insights that you're thinking about?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, well,
I
great.
got
It
it.
was a nice, short and sweet story. I think it kind of identifies with a lot of people,
Oh, for
especially in the dating
sure.
world, because I feel like most of us who are in the dating world have experienced ghosting at least once, some more than others. I think you and I are probably more on the upper side of
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
But yeah, yeah, it was really nice having you
Yeah, it
on,
was
and
nice being on here.
I'm sure the listeners will enjoy
I hope so. It
the
wasn't as
story.
crazy as the other ones.
But no, that's totally fine because not everything can be super crazy. This was crazy. People will think
Exactly.
that it is, but it's also a normal experience that a lot of people have.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Great. Well, it was awesome having you on. And for our listeners, make sure that you follow us on social media. We are on Instagram, Facebook. Oh God, I think that's it. Yeah. Instagram and Facebook. It's Romance Unraveled. And then we are streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. Until next time.